Thousands upon thousands of Albertans are still out of work thanks to Liberal and NDP energy policies. Grassy Narrows First Nations Reserve is still poisoned by mercury, and of course our veterans are still asking for more than Trudeau was willing to give them. But good news, folks, a bunch of Liberals just got paid for doing absolutely nothing. Today I'll tell you the full story and what you can do to help me get the money back. After much public outcry, the Liberals have cancelled their program to hire social media influencers to try to encourage young people and those who live pretty well exclusively on the internet to register to vote in the 2019 federal election. But of course, not before spending most of the $650,000 budgeted for the social media campaign to increase voter turnout. Now, according to the CBC, after 4 rounds of vetting, Chief Electoral Officer Stephane Perrault said the past activities of some of the influencers could be perceived as partisan, and then decided to drop the project. Those influencers were, there's Ashley Callingbull, actor, model, and First Nations activist; Andre de Grasse, Olympic sprinter; Mitch Hughes, YouTuber; Katherine Levac, comedian; Elle Mills, YouTuber; Maripier, Morin, TV host and model; Alex Nevsky, singer-songwriter; Penny Oleksiak, Olympic swimmer; Nicolas Ouellet, TV host; Max Parrot, Olympic snowboarder; Thanh, Phung, lifestyle and family blogger; Lilly, Singh, YouTuber and talk show host; Maayan, photographer, disability issues activist, and founding CEO of Access Now. This is a weirdly cultivated list on its face to begin with. Very liberal sorts of people were chosen if we're just going by careers and making snap judgments. Talk show hosts, activists, athletes living off grants and sponsorships, lifestyle bloggers, and YouTubers that haven't been threatened with deletion or completely demonetized altogether. Liberals. There's not a single farmer, hunter, outdoorsy guy or gal, blue-collar fella, industry advocate, vaguely conservative woman, or a Robbie Picard, a Bernard the Roughneck, or a Farmer Megs type in the entire bunch. You know, the type of people with a pretty broad social media reach who advocate for their specific causes, who have a loyal, dedicated audience, but who are sometimes in opposition with the Liberal government of the day. It's almost like there are two things happening here when the federal government tried to use these influencers to promote voter registration. First of all, this sure seems like the whole program was just a patronage handout from the federal government to friends and allies and supporters of the Liberal Party, the sorts of people who have and will continue to support the Liberals going forward and who would have done all this influencing for free anyway. It's a neat little gift from the taxpayers. And secondarily, it appears the Liberal government is trying to mobilize or get the vote out of a specific demographic that watches and follows these sorts of people. By that, I mean liberal millennials. I mean, we are the largest YouTube news channel in the country here at The Rebel. But I think it's pretty safe to say that our 1.2 million YouTube subscribers, while they aren't the kind of voting bloc this government wants to mobilize to show up at the polls. Now let's go through some of the more openly, glaringly partisan influencers on the list. First on the list, former Mrs. World, Ashley Callingbull. She's probably the worst one of the bunch. Here she is with a cozy-looking selfie with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. Here is Callingbull tweeting that we need to stop Hitler. Oh, but she means Stephen Harper, which is a bizarre statement that makes her, first, a partisan lefty, secondarily, historically ignorant, and also someone who makes life a lot easier for the real Nazis out there by diminishing the Holocaust. Here's Callingbull encouraging people during the last election to vote Harper out. Now, in a feeble attempt to try to explain why she got the contract to be an influencer, Callingbull claimed that it was because of her social media reach. It's just so large, which is somewhat peculiar because most of you are just finding out about her for the very first time now. And she has about 1/3 the followers on Twitter that I do. Okay, let's keep going down the list. Here's Katherine Levac. In one French language interview, she admits to having found the man of her dreams in the form of Justin Trudeau. In another French language interview in Flash, Quebec, she says that her ideal man is, you guessed it, Justin Trudeau. Lilly Singh describes Trudeau as her man crush on Instagram. On Twitter, she said that her prime minister makes her very happy and that he's a champ. Maripier Morin has a very friendly-looking selfie here with Sophie Gregoire Trudeau. Maayan Ziv, the last on the list, told Flair magazine in December of 2016 that the prime minister, well, he comes in the room and there's this glow, I can't really explain it. She's also quoted as saying she praised the prime minister's comments on accessibility issues, saying that he is really dreamy. To try to explain this taxpayer-funded disaster away, like I pointed out earlier, Elections Canada's CEO, Stephane Perrault, says that the partisan opinions of these people only came on Elections Canada's radar after the final vetting, the fourth round of intensive vetting, which is baloney. These influencers were already finally vetted by Elections Canada because they've already been paid. Yeah, these influencers were hired specifically for their partisanship, not fired because of it. They were only fired if you can call getting paid and then not having to fulfill your contractual obligations fired once the public uncovered their shameless liberal partisanship. This was all just one Google search away. Let's put this into normal terms. If Revenue Canada gives you too large of a tax refund, they will chase you to the ends of the earth to get every single penny back, won't they? I want these people who have done absolutely nothing to get paid by the Canadian taxpayer to get the very same treatment as a normal, law-abiding Canadian does when they accidentally get $5 extra back from the government on their tax return because of some bureaucratic error processing paperwork somewhere along the way. Actually, you know what? I don't even want it to be that bad, because if the government gives you $5 extra on your tax return, they harass you for months and months and months until they wring that money out of you. I just want these people to pay it back after being asked nicely to do so, since they haven't done a damn thing to earn a penny of it. And if these influencers are unwilling to pay the money back, well, then heads need to roll at Elections Canada, because it proves Elections Canada hired and in doing so endorsed social media influencers of low moral standards. But first, I need your help with a pressure campaign. I have a petition calling on Stephane Perrault, that lapdog CEO of Elections Canada, to demand that these influencers repay the Canadian taxpayer for the work they were paid for but didn't do. Paying these partisans for doing absolutely nothing is a slap in the face to Canadian taxpayers. You can sign that petition and see the list of influencers who got a fat payday for doing sweet nothing at paythemoneyback.ca. And if that doesn't work, I have a plan to step this pressure campaign up a notch. But let's see if we can make a big impact here first, with thousands of names. I don't think the CEO of Elections Canada wants me to ramp this dispute up, but I will, if I have to, go to paythemoneyback.ca to sign and share my petition to ask Elections Canada to recoup their partisan payout today. For TheRebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To sign my petition calling on the CEO of Elections Canada to recoup the payout they gave to partisan social media influencers, go to paythemoneyback.ca.